Okay, so we're going to talk about finger cars in this video. Your fingers, they also obviously individually move, just like your wrist does, and just like your elbow and your shoulder and every other joint in your body. But we don't normally think about involving our fingers and the joints in our fingers in our mobility training. But it's very important, especially if you spend a lot of time typing, if you spend a lot of time working and using your hands. It's vital that each of these individual joints in your hand and in your fingers get adequate attention and self-care. Okay, so first things first, the base joints of your fingers have a different degree of movement than the ones upstream. Okay, so let's go straight away to these upstream. If I take this middle hinge joint in my finger or this top one, you can see how they're very limited. They just hinge back and forth, back and forth. Okay, they can't do something like rotation, which the base joints can. Okay, so we're going to have two different ways that we're going to do cars for the different joints in our hand. So starting with the base joints in our fingers, I'm going to start with our thumb. And all we're going to think about is creating the biggest circle that we can with our thumb, going nice and slow, and trying to stay in full control. Okay, so thumb cars, right, the base of the this carpal metacarpal joint is being stimulated with big controlled articular rotations, just like this. And then for the rest of the fingers, you can do them flat on the surface just like this. However, it's going to get very difficult to actually lift them off. So I prefer doing them up in the air and standing. And now you can keep all your fingers spread just like this, or you can make almost like a pistol, a pointer, just like this. And now all I'm thinking about is moving this pointer finger as slowly as I can through the biggest range of motion that I can. Okay, and then I would do the same exact thing with this guy, and my pinky, working all the way through each of these different joints. Okay, I like to go 4 slow reps in one way continuously and 4 slow repetitions the other way. Okay, now in terms of the other joints in our fingers, these ones that mainly flex and extend, that's all we're going to do with them. Okay, but let's go nice and slow and not rush through it. So if I start with my pointer finger, I don't want to just kind of take it very quickly through here. I want to see first how much I can bend this guy, and then the top one, and then I want to open them back up. And then I want to go ahead again, and then I can bring it back out. Okay, and so all we're going to do is you can slowly move through all of them at once, just like this. Or you can go one at a time. Okay, obviously fingers that have more problems than others should require a little bit of extra attention. Okay, so if you have a lot of tightness where you're being curled in like this, it's very important that you're on a regular basis opening up the joints. Okay, now this is very different than just the tension that you might feel if you stretch back this way, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the individual gears, the individual joints that make up your hand and fingers. They need movement and motion. They don't need long holds or long stretches. Okay?